Welcome back to the Grit Culture. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's get into it. So, of course, everybody knows, well, not everybody, but for people who have half a brain, they can clearly see the assault on, information here in the U.S., the assault on, if not truth, at least trying to discover truth. You're seeing the manipulation. You're seeing the propaganda, the way they're trying to mold people's minds into thinking their ways of thinking so they can be able to take advantage or further take advantage of the public while, silencing any dissenters. And they got multiple avenues they can do it. They have multiple avenues that they're touching. All the main ones. All the main places. Now, like I've always said, this could easily be, well, not easily, but it could be remedied if, everybody just came together and talked all this unity crap that, we talk. It sounds, it's ideal. It sounds good, but, everybody has their own ways that they move and they want to do their own thing. And people tend to gravitate toward whatever is the popular thing. Whatever has the most traffic, whatever has the most money behind it, whatever has, has all the bells and whistles, everything that has the allure to it. So you got, you got alternatives out here, but you know that everybody's on Facebook and everything else. And so, you've seen some of it. You see, a lot of these, groups, a lot of people who are on the, the so-called white right wing. They try to label everybody that leaves as a right wing. But you got right wing groups also. Then they've been targeted. But, anybody who's not part of the whole Democratic campaign, the left and all of that, they're pretty much alienated. They're pretty much considered the enemy in today, right now, as of right now. So, it's caused a lot of people to go to different platforms. You have stuff like Rumble and other little places that they go to. Now, it may not get the same traction, may not reach the same people as, say, a YouTube or Instagram or whatever, Facebook or whatever. But there's people there that you can reach. So there's alternatives. But let's get into it, man. But so an advisory was released, and they do this all the time. Kind of like an alert on, terrorism and different things that's going on in the country that need to have an eye kept on it. Now, I'm not all for further surveillance. They find different reasons to, invade everybody's privacy. And they got all type of avenues to do it, whether it's through your phones, anything with a camera, whether it's your TV, your computer, anything. They're watching what you're doing on the web, everything. They got all your information. Whether you hit the permissions or whatnot. Now, a lot of times, the rest use the apps that we use. We do grant these companies the permission, but they still gonna do what the hell they do anyway. They're more telling you than asking you. But this new report just came out, and that's. It was sent to me, and I see it being shared, and it's being interpreted as the new, they'll label as terrorists are people who spread what the government deems as misinformation. And you could be subject to, you already know what comes to being labeled as a terrorist. Those are serious penalties right there. I that's not what it actually says here. It's not what it necessarily says. Now they've done this before, and it brought out an uproar. The last time that they did it, they actually did it against BLM. They actually did it against BLM, and so people took it as they're labeling BLM as terrorists and stuff like that. Some people were against it, and there was a lot of people that were for it. Like, yeah, they should be labeled as terrorists. But they were reading it wrong. They interpreted it the wrong way. This is why it's important to read what's in the fine print. Don't pay attention to, all of these different headlines and everything. What it was actually saying then and what it's actually saying now is that terrorism attacks could rise out of these different things. I mean, this should just be a bulletin in not just the government, but everybody's everyday life. Different attacks can arise from different things. You see people sitting up there attacking mosques, doing all type of stuff. You already know there's going to be people who have differing opinions and who are willing to carry out violence. It's the most terrible thing you could ever do is, hurt somebody over how they feel or how they look. But it's something that people do. It's a part of this world, and it's something that you got to be aware of. And that's all these are. It's not necessarily, of course they don't, BLM were useful idiots for the government. They used them until they didn't need them no more, then tossed them out to rot. But for the most part, it's not necessarily, and yeah, they are against whatever they deem misinformation, even if it's, it could be the truth. But if it's not coming through, it's not being funneled through them, they'll try to delegitimize it. But at the same time, like I said, that's not what this is. It's just, you have people who could learn the truth, who could learn, the correct information and things that, paint the government in the bad light. And what you'll have these people do is decide that they want to go out there and do some crap like what they were doing with Governor Whitmer over there in Michigan. Now, she's a piece of crap, but that doesn't mean what they were doing was right. Yeah, they got hit with entrap. They got entrapped into doing what they were doing. A lot of FBI agents or whatnot that were, basically coaxing these guys, but that still doesn't exonerate the guys that were, exonerate the guys who were, planning on going and doing that stuff. And to do that and make it like they're innocent, that screw all the what's legal and what's not, what's moral. That'd be like me, saying we're gonna go take advantage of a female, or sit up there, somebody says, hey, we're gonna go take advantage of a female, and I agree to it. And then we get to the place, and it turns out the guy was an agent, and he tricked me into coming with him, and I got arrested. Okay, yeah, that's entrapment, but still, you had it in your heart to do that. You see, with these militias and all of them, most of them already understand this, but these people who want to be revolutionaries and all of that, what should always be understood is you never, ever take the first shot. Never take the first shot. All you do is stay on defense when it comes to stuff like this, because, either way, you're more than likely going to be viewed as the bad guys, kind of like they did in Waco. But you have a better chance when you're on the defense of, the correct information. You got to have proactive defense, basically like, don't let them cross a certain line like that. Don't let them, bomb on you first and be able, to the point where they done already killed your whole village or whatnot, but don't let them cross a certain line. What you do, what you got to do, get out of society, create your own society, get away and decide to go like that. Then if they decide, like they pretty much always will, if you have you have people decide that they want to move autonomous from the government, well, what you're going to have is the government now going to start, and they're successful, the government's going to definitely start to move in and try to infiltrate what you got going on, or try to, throw off what you got going on and end that. And try to apply their own, state laws or the laws that the land, because, pretty much these guys own everything. We don't own shit. We pay taxes on everything. We pay land tax or whatnot. So if you ever decide to get into a real revolution, just be ready to fight. But you don't go to where they're at and start trying to, kill them or trying to attack them. You're always going to look bad. Just break away. Secede. Like the South did in the Civil War. And that's the only way to do it. And then defend your turf from there. But that's all this is saying. That's all it was saying about, BLM. It says it about, white supremacist groups, anything. Anything could arise from something. From somebody being mad. And it could create a hate crime. Now, most crimes are, especially a person died, cold-blooded murder. I mean, those are hate crimes. Those are hate crimes. You have to express a level of hate to do some stuff like that. Kill somebody in cold blood. But yeah, as far as these actions and what they're saying in here, like I said, don't take it for what it is. Don't overreact. Still, they're still at war against information right now. A war of information, and trying to get control of the people's minds. But this is not it. This is not it right here. This isn't what you're seeing. So I'm just putting this out here to put everything in the correct light, so people don't react, think, oh, this is an announcement of war or anything like this, that they want to shut down free speech. That's not what it says here. It's just, free speech can come with consequences. People do a lot of dumb stuff. People do a lot of dumb stuff that it arises off, the information that they take in. So it always has to be accounted for. Somebody always goes rogue and decide they want to do what they do. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Hopefully I'm not the most eloquent speaker, but hopefully I gave you a level of clarity to this that you can build upon and share with everybody else. But till then, I'll holler at y'all later. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.